So, story time yet again. This story takes place maybe 2 months ago, I'd say. It was a simple plan. I got a match on Tinder with this girl. We're gonna call her. I don't know. We'll call her Hannah. I got a match with Hannah, and I was hanging out with Will at the time, and we were bored. We didn't have anything to do. So we were driving in Will's car. I don't know where we were going. Probably to Bojangles like we always do. And I hit up Hannah and I said, "Hey, you want to hang out sometime?" And she said, "Sure, but you'll have to come get me because I don't have a car." And so I said, "Okay, no problem. My friend Will is going to pick you up." So we go to her place and it's roughly 30 minutes away, I'd say. She lived like in Durham or Raleigh, I don't remember. Now, we didn't know at the we didn't know it at the time, but Hannah was fucking insane. So her and Will kind of struck it, they struck a deal. They struck a nerve. I don't know what the term is. I can't really talk. After a few, I don't know, days of hanging out with her and Will at the same time, they developed feelings for each other. And over time, maybe another week, Hannah moved in with Will, with his grandma at their trailer. And I thought to myself, what are you doing? You're kind of jumping the shark, jumping the gun, jumping the broom, cuz. And Will, I don't remember what he said. I don't know if he actually cared, but all I knew is that he was happy because he had a partner. And she moved in. She brought her cat named Paxton, who didn't like me at first, but was fine afterwards. And so this is where things get a little more territorial, more guarded, more like Will wasn't able to do anything by himself for a month and a half because Hannah decided to go on his Instagram page, delete all of his pictures, upload new pictures that she takes on his phone, goes on his social media, which is a total breach of privacy. I know that a lot of relationships and couples, they want to do this and that, go on each other's social media, go into each other's personal space. If that happened to me, I would not be okay with that because I like having my own things, my own social media. I just don't like that. So about a month and a half, Will and Hannah are together. Will's unhappy. I barely got to talk to Will. We since kicked Hannah out of Will's place and she moved back with her parents, thank God. So we went camping maybe 2.5 weeks ago with my friend Chris, who you guys probably don't know from JW's band, one of our members. And how do I say this? We went camping at, I think it was Lake James or Mount Mitchell. I think it was Lake James. We were there for a couple days on the weekend, and it was kind of emotional for me on the way there because we actually stopped at Winston-Salem, where I used to live, and the only person there, well, that I cared about seeing, was my old piano teacher, and it was kind of emotional. I didn't cry. I did not cry. I wanted to cry, but I didn't cry. It was kind of funny. I was listening to Juice WRLD's new song, Smile, featuring The Weeknd, and I was trying not to cry or be sad, as apparently that song was called. Anyway, so we finally get to Lake James, and everything's going fine, except 2 hours in, we start unpacking, we have our tent splayed out everywhere, and we get all of our food and stuff, we start eating. Farmer Brown, the man that was, I guess, hosting the campsite at the time, the man who was just there making sure that everyone was at the correct campsites, because the way it worked was you would reserve your campsite online, you would go in, you would check in, he would find your name on the piece of paper, he would tell you where, he would tell you the camp where you had to be, and that's how it went. We were in 13. It turns out we were stupid. We were dumb. We had to pack up our stuff because Farmer Brown said to us, yeah, y'all gotta go back and go to the other campsite at the other part of Lake James. Y'all ain't supposed to be here. So we had to leave, I was in a terrible mood. I wanted to go home and just go to sleep because I didn't feel like putting that tent back together after disassembling it. So we had to do all that. And I don't know. It was so boring. Like, I mean, the camping was fun. We went, so we got to the right campsite. There was an older man there. I think his name was John or James or James Newsick Eiton. I don't remember his name. He had a dog named Tessa, so Hannah and Will liked that, so they were hanging out. Meanwhile, my phone was dying, much like my spirit, and I was on hold for maybe 35 minutes waiting for the camp ranger to come and figure out the whole debacle with where we were supposed to be, because we were at the right campsite, but the guy was in our spot, and it was this whole mess. I guess the system didn't notify him that he didn't get that spot because we claimed it. And I guess if there's more than one person that's supposed to have it, then shit just gets real and people have to leave. So thankfully, he was only there for a night. He left sometime in the morning with his dog. He left his dishes, I think. So camping was okay. It was hot in the tent. Hannah and Will and Chris and I all had to sleep in there. 2 nights, it was very hot. So the final night, I went in Chris's car and slept, I think. I couldn't sleep well that night. Camping was okay. The only time that Will got away from Hannah was we all went walking. We found a nice pier, and it was kind of wild. So the first time that we went to the pier, I think it was Chris and I. Yeah, it was just Chris and I. We saw a man in a boat with a purple LED blacklight kind of thing. And Chris thought that he saw a laser, like, a gun with like a laser pointer. It was so cool, but he was catching fish at night, and it was, I don't know, he was just roaming around and shining lights everywhere. And yeah, it was just kind of weird. So Will finally had time away from Hannah, and we talked a little bit. He and Chris really had some alone time because we don't get to see Chris as often because he works at a campsite in Wisconsin, I think, and he's just been doing that. It's kind of weird how he has a job during this pandemic and I don't. I don't know. But after a long month and a half, stuff just happens with Hannah and Will. Like, Hannah doesn't like to be alone, so if Will goes somewhere, like to his job where he watches over his uncle's mom 5 days a week, or 4, it depends, she has to go with him. She cannot be home alone. Yeah, I know she has mental illness, and I know that's something very bad, but Will needs some alone time, and he just wasn't getting it with her. They would come over, to my place sometimes. Oh, I have the hiccups, oh my god. They would come over to my place, they'd hang out. She wanted to watch the How to Train Your Dragon movies, which I've only seen the third one? I think it was the third one, The Hidden World, whichever one that was. And we stopped watching it. No. I think we watched the first one. Yeah, we watched the first one. I go to take a shower because I'm hot and sweaty of all the walking that we did previously before they showed up. And they just decide to leave. Hannah has a breakdown, and they leave. And this happened 4 more times. I just couldn't deal with it. I was cleaning one morning. It was like 2:30 in the morning, and I found some of Hannah's clothing. I found, I just found 2 pieces of clothing. I don't want to get into specifics. But, you know what? No, fuck it. So I found a tank top, and I found some underwear. And I told Hannah, I said, hey, I found your clothes. I put them in this bag. I took a picture of it, and then I threw it somewhere because I didn't care about it. It smelled disgusting. They always leave stuff, mainly Hannah, and I couldn't deal with it. So I got on Discord, and I talked to Will, and I said, hey, I found Hannah's... This might sound a little weird, but you know what? It's okay. Because Will and I have this sort of sense of humor that can't really be broken. I said, hey, I found Hannah's size 5 panties. And normally whenever I find clothing, anywhere, I look for the size, I look for the brand, and that's it. That's all. So, upon sending the message, Hannah messages me and she says, Josh, what the fuck is wrong with you? You can't go around doing that. And look, I'll admit, I think I was in the wrong. I probably shouldn't have said that. But the thing is, I was joking with my friend. And she got on his Discord. And she has her own Discord, by the way. Everything that Will has, Hannah basically has also like a computer and things like that, and Discord, Instagram, all that stuff. So, yeah, she got mad at me. She made up a blatant lie saying that Will doesn't want to talk to you anymore for a long time. I had already blocked her. I don't care. When people talk down to me, I kind of take the coward's way out. I just block them. And I didn't get to talk to Will for about a week after that, maybe a week and a half. And finally, we finally kicked Hannah out of Will's place. It was last week. I think it was like Wednesday or something. She was in tears. I was happy. I didn't like her at all. And I wouldn't talk to her whenever Will would use the bathroom when I'd be in the room with her alone. It would just kind of be an awkward silence. So that was interesting. And, yeah. I want to say the moral of this story, it's not done, but I don't want to get into too much because it's a lot to untangle and unhandle and unbag. Be careful who you find on Tinder because I think I should have unmatched her when I had the chance. But at the time, I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know that her and Will would kind of fall for each other and move in and do all these rash things. But thankfully, she's out of the picture. And if she's watching this, then I hope you have fun with your life. Please get the help you need. And please comment, like, and subscribe. I'm very desperate. I will talk to you guys later. I am tired. My sleep schedule is awful. But yeah, that's basically it. I'll talk to you guys later. There'll be a part 2. Don't worry.